guys, welcome to my channel. My name is ReadingBear and I hope you are ready for some more stories. And today, we'll take a look at some new IDontWorkHereLady content. If you enjoyed my content, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and post some bear emojis in the comment. And now, let's dive right into the stories.
The first story is titled, Karen Mistakes Me for a Manager. So does the employee she's abusing. I'm on my way to a meeting with customers, and I realize I have forgotten to bring along a pad. Popped into a store along the way, and as I'm scanning the shelves looking for a small pad, I notice Karen yelling at a young employee at the other end. Keep in mind that I'm just wearing a nice shirt, tie, and slacks. Nothing to indicate that I work in that store, or anywhere else for that matter. I guess I made the mistake of looking her way for a second too long, because Karen immediately stormed over toward me. You're the manager here. You need to deal with your employees. Before I have a chance to correct her, she launches into a tirade about how worthless this poor kid was. She was swearing more than I do, and I swear like I was raised by Samuel L. Jackson. I glanced over at the employee, and he's white as a sheet and shaking. I looked at Karen and gave her my best manager's speech about how I'm sorry she had a bad experience and that I would take care of the problem employee immediately. She proclaimed something along the lines of "I would expect so," and walked away as fast as her cankles could manage. I walked over to the kid, who's still white and shaking. First words out of his mouth are, "Am I fired?" Turns out he had only worked there a couple of days. He honestly thought I was a manager too. I told him I didn't even work there, and that he should be wary of Karens in the wild. I have learned my lesson and will no longer go into that store wearing a tie. The next story is titled, Another department's manager doesn't know my name, rages when I don't answer her. When I was a teenager, I worked in the general merchandise department of a major UK supermarket, i.e. TVs, CDs, homeware, etc. Basically anything other than food, toiletries, and cleaning stuff. This role meant I was trained to use the till, but the majority of my work was stocking shelves and recording stock in the warehouse. In this supermarket, as I'm sure is the case with most others, when things got busy, the checkout manager would call over the tannoy to request help from all till-trained staff or specific staff members by name. When this happened, you normally had to drop what you were doing to go and sit on the tills until the queues were reduced. One Saturday afternoon, I heard a call over the tannoy for someone whose name was vaguely similar to mine, but not the same. Let's say Adam instead of Andrew, not my actual name. I paid no attention to it and continued working on my stock check in the warehouse. When I returned to the shop floor about 20 minutes later, the checkout manager marches up to me and yells that she told me to come down and I have to do what she says. I told her I never heard her call me, at which point she says something along the lines of, "Don't lie, Adam. You must have heard me." At this point it clicks that she doesn't know my name despite me having worked there for 6 months, regularly interacted with her, and had my name on her list of till-trained staff. So I calmly tell her my name is Andrew, not Adam. She doesn't accept this, and we get into a bit of an argument where she is convinced my name is Adam and that I'm messing her around. I told her to check with the duty manager, my line manager, or any of the supervisors in her team as I knew them all. I then walked off to resume my work. At age 17, it felt a bit dangerous to walk away from a manager who was having a go at you, but I was in the right and knew I could easily get one of the other managers on my side if she tried to punish me. I worked at that place for about a year after this incident, and at least once every couple of weeks I would hear Adam to the checkouts. I knew full well that she was asking for me, but never once answered the call out of principle, and when she inevitably had a go at me, I inevitably told her she didn't ask for me. After a few months of this, she finally spoke to my manager about disciplining me, to which my manager obviously told her she had it wrong. She started using my actual name after that, but spoke to me like I was a piece of dirt every time she saw me. Gotta love it when vindictive, incompetent people get into small positions of power. The next story is titled Donkey Punched by a Customer Thinking I Worked There. This happened a while back. To be fair, I was wearing khakis and a solid color long sleeve shirt. I worked at this store for the company for a total of 5 years, but had quit several months prior. I still can't help but offer help to people that look lost. I had just finished grabbing something from the back of a high shelf for a short, older lady when a shopping cart hits my hip pretty hard. Even though I was just standing still, and it definitely wasn't my fault, I reflexively apologized. Being raised in the South, I can't help but start with, "Oh sorry, excuse me," and I sidestepped in case I was in someone's way. Crazy lady. Yeah, excuse you, now get something down for me. Me. Ma'am, if you had asked nicely, like the other lady I would have, but I don't work here and I have no obligation to help you. I turned to continue shopping and walk away from this crazy lady when she punched me in the back of the head, nearly knocking my glasses off my face. It had to have been a full force swing because she was wringing out her hand like it hurt her. Crazy lady, that got your attention, now get that down for me. I could still feel the sharp sting to the back of my scalp. My head was throbbing, the blood was rushing to my head. My face even felt hot. Simply put, I was fuming. I luckily had to self-control to not draw my concealed carry weapon, as to not escalate this further. Me, I will not be helping you with anything. I'm leaving. I got another zing of sharp pain through my head and through clenched teeth say, touch me again and you're going to have a very bad day. Not a threat, mind you, a promise. Crazy lady just stands there kind of slack-jawed. I don't know if she saw something in my eyes or heard something in my voice, but she just closed her mouth and just looked at me. My friend who worked security there just so happened to see when she hit me in the head and walks up. Friend, do you want me to call the cops to have charges pressed or just have management trespass her? I looked at her. She was as white as a ghost. I knew the significance of having someone trespassed from the store, as it is a company-wide trespass. I explained this to her and told her I'd rather not ruin her ability to do decent shopping in the area. I know that some will say I should have pressed charges or had her trespassed, but I've seen her interact with a few employees in the past few months. I'm always their law, and she's actually been a decent human being to them. I think she must have had some kind of mental break at the time, and the incident was like a wake-up call for her to turn a new leaf. The next story is titled, Yes, I Speak English, No, I Don't Work Here, and No, I'm Not Obligated to Help You. Me and my entire group were wearing this white Mickey print t-shirt from Uniqlo. It is Disney branded but looks nothing like the uniform. And all the employees had these Nauseers/sailor hat thing on, and they had name tags and lanyards with pins on them. I just stumbled upon this subreddit and am overjoyed that I can share one of the most frustrating interactions of my life. This event happened almost 3 years ago. I was lucky enough to go to the soft opening of Shanghai Disneyland a couple weeks before the official opening with my church's youth group. The day was pretty fun as there weren't a lot of people and we got to ride most of the big rides with only 20-30 min waiting times. Anyways, at the tail end of our visit, everyone's pretty tired from walking around all day, so we decide to go to the only open gift shop in the park located at the Tomorrowland area. This is a soft opening meant for friends and family of those who worked on the park to allow them to experience the rides and stuff. So the gift shop is stocked with a sample one of each item available at all of the future gift stores with a corresponding piece of paper with the name of the item in Chinese, its price, and a number that correlates with the item. There are a lot of signs posted all around the store and at the front door notifying the customers in both Chinese and English that you are supposed to write down the item number, amount and size if applicable, with the Mickey Mouse branded pen and paper that they pass out when you enter the store and hand it to one of the store attendants to get your stuff. Just for some context, I attended a private international high school in Shanghai where I was taught in English, so I am better at English than most Chinese kids. Anyways, I spot a girl I recognize from playing sports with other schools. She's there with who I think is her mom, and they're struggling at the plushie bin. I ended up helping them find the things that they need. Halfway through, I feel and presence approach me. I don't pay it much mind as I think it's one of their other family members and finish up writing down the number for the Kylo Ren Mickey that they wanted. They leave seemingly happy with their choices, and I look through the plushie pile some more to see if there's anything I want. After finishing, I turn to look for my friends and I'm confronted with the most forced smile I have ever witnessed. The woman who I thought was their family member was standing about 10 cm away from me and her face was about 5 cm away from my neck. I felt her warm caustic breath huffing and puffing on my collarbone. I thought it was kind of weird, but my tired brain at this point thought that maybe she was tired too and was just trying to put on her best smile. I awkwardly mutter, "No problemo," and scuttle away to find my friends. I hear her yell, "Hey." What? And then I felt it. Her oily, grubby, marshmallow fingers with her crusty acrylics grabbed my arm. I slowly turn around and am immediately met with a shirt shoved in my face. "We need L's for these shirts. Your guys' stock is terrible. There's practically nothing here." "Excuse me," was all I could mutter before she talked again, angrier. "Just look in the back aisle. No, you have more stock back there." I look around. Her 2 kids are behind her, hands full of the sample toys. She's holding one shirt right next to my face and is holding two more on her other arm. I look around. Chinese people aren't very confrontational but love to watch. There are about 10 to 12 people staring at us in the immediate area. You're not supposed to take those, read the signs. Excuse me. Those are samples. You're not supposed to touch them. Don't you tell me what I can and can't buy. Who's in charge here? Get me your supervisor. You're clearly untrained. Too bad I don't work here. I was just helping a friend. That's unfair treatment, just because they're your friend. I could only sigh what? Before one of the members from my youth group yelled from across the store in Chinese to see if I was done. I decide it's just not worth it and start heading towards the group. I hear her screech, "Stop right there," immediately followed with a "You're supposed to serve me, not them. You speak English, you're supposed to help the American customer, not one of your Chinese, and I can't find the right sizes." There were two big things that pissed me off about this statement. Firstly, she said Chinese as if I was her PTA mom friend she was complaining to about some Asian kid getting the valedictorian position over her own precious babby. Secondly, she's completely ignored what I said and has contradicts herself as she's gone from telling me that I'm untrained, which I am BC, I don't work there, to now me being trained specifically to her Americans. I don't even turn around and yell, "I'm not a ducking employee, you're being an idiot," and then turn around to look her in the eyes to say, "And you're not my ducking problem." I hear a comically loud gasp coming from her and see her form an individual stampede and approach me. I start getting kind of scared. Her 150 kg of chub tubs. She was closer to maybe 80-90 kg. I fear I may have been a little fat phobic. Is gonna body my frail lanky 60 kg bones, so I put my hands up and brace myself, and I end up awkwardly catching the shirt and the hanger that she was trying to hit me with. I push her hand away and just leg it towards the door. At this point, I was in a state of fear and confusion, as no one outside of my own mother had ever attempted to hit me like that. I catch my friends at the keychain area close to the counter and try to blend in with the crowd and begin to tell them Aunt the crazy lady that was trying to murder me. After my unsuccessful attempt to get everyone to leave as they had just handed in their papers, I hear a loud screech of someone speak in a way as if they were condescendingly speaking to someone they perceived to be mentally slow. "Your worker attacked." Me, this came with its own flailing of hands and trying to mine out the phrase. I see this poor manager on the verge of breaking down after dealing with waves of demanding Disney fans and being yelled at in a language he barely understands. At this point, I'd just been freshly called a homophobic slur from running away from the woman and make the decision that no one spooks me twice. I stride towards the woman and kindly say to the manager in Chinese she's crazy and just trying to hit me because she thought I worked here and didn't want to help her, all the while she freaks out and keeps yelling to him, that's him. Obviously, the manager tunes her out because he actually understands what I'm saying, and he tells me he would call the security, but there aren't any available at the moment. She keeps screeching stuff about the manager discriminating her by not talking to her while I speak to the manager about what to do. Soon enough, the woman gets agitated and grabs the manager and starts shaking him, screaming at him to fire me. The manager just shoves this woman off, puts a finger in her face, and says in his broken English, "No touch." She's shook, realizes what happens, and starts stumbling a couple steps back and flops onto the floor. She just starts flailing around and screaming. At this point, the entire store's customers, including the girl I was helping in my church group, and most of the employees have gathered around and have started watching this woman act like a toddler. She does this vaudeville-esque pause to see if there are people watching and goes straight back to screaming and crying. A bunch of Chinese people start pulling out their phones and filming this crazy white lady make a mess at Disney. After she realizes no one gives a duck about her childish behavior and are just watching her, she begins to shift back into anger. Never, in my life, has anyone disrespected me like this. 6 years in China, you are the worst, she says as she points her sausage fingers at me. 6 years. 6 years, and this woman hasn't even attempted to learn a lick of Chinese. Oh, I'm dumbfounded. How does she live? Her poor Chinese maid. At this point, all eyes are on me, and this becomes one of those moments I would regret and replay every night for the next 35 years if I don't speak my mind. Duck you. That was it. All I could come up with. But thank God, she kept talking. No, duck you. You're a rude brat. I'll make sure my husband gets you fired. You've ruined my boy's day. Well, go ahead. I don't ducking work here. I don't need to do anything for you. You idiot. Duck you lady. At this point, she is still on the floor, so I just turn around, walked towards my youth group, and just said, "Let's go," in Chinese. We ended up going to Cheesecake Factory, and I got to tell the story to the rest of my youth group, and my leader chewed me out for not being a good Samaritan, but also agreed that she was kind of idiot. The next story is titled, "A Man Jabbed Me in the Chest with His Finger at Costco." I had just gotten off an 11-hour shift and needed to get some groceries after work. I picked up my boyfriend on the way to Costco and away we went. We got most of the things we needed and were waiting in line. I don't know about all Costco stores, but in my city it is busy all the time. The lineups are massive. The cashiers are very quick though. I'm standing in line with my boyfriend when I remember I needed to get dry shampoo, and Costco is the only place that sells 3 cans of it for $1.20. It's an awesome deal, and for someone that works early shifts like me, it's a lifesaver. I didn't bring my purse inside and had my keys in my hand, so I just put them around my neck with the lanyard and told my boyfriend I'd be right back. I was wearing black pants, a black top, and a Pikachu lanyard around my neck. Costco employees don't necessarily have a uniform. I'm pretty sure they can wear whatever they want as long as they have a name tag. I'm walking towards the checkouts holding my dry shampoo, and a man walks directly in front of me, stopping. I did a classic Canadian smile and "oh sorry," and trying to get around him, but he stepped to the side and got back in front of me. RD equals rude dude. RD, can you tell me where the large jars of pickles are? Me? No, sorry. I'm really not sure. RD, what do you mean you're not sure? Where are they? He raised his voice, and I was immediately in defense mode. Me, wanting to get out of the situation as fast as possible. I don't work here. I don't know where they are. I'm sorry. I tried to get around him, and he stepped in front of me again. RD, who is your manager? This is when he poked the center of my chest with his sausage finger. I immediately stepped back and gave him the dirtiest look I could give to anyone. RD, I need to talk to your manager now. Where is he? You are very rude. Me, my manager's name is John, and I highly doubt he would give a crap if I help you find something or not at Costco, because I don't work. Here, hit the duck out of my way. I managed to get around RD, and he shouted at me to come back over to him. Excuse me, who are you? Thankfully, he didn't follow me, and I couldn't see him anymore after wading through the sea of people. I finally got back to my boyfriend in line and told him what happened as we got back to the checkout, and the cashiers thought it was hilarious. I'll admit, I wish I didn't curse at him in public, but I was feeling a fight or flight response and he wouldn't let me pass. Not my finest moment, but definitely not his either. The next story is titled, "A Karen Insisting I'm Her Lyft Driver." For context, I've been a Lyft driver for 4 years, but haven't since COVID started. I don't have my amp in the window, but I still have the sticker on the car. I have an online order for pickup at Walmart for supplies for the incoming hurricane. So I'm driving into the parking lot and am searching for the pickup parking spots. I drive by the exit door looking for these spots when I see a woman eyeing my car as she walks out of the store. At the same time, a car attempts to pull out and nearly hits me, but doesn't. As I start to move forward to continue my search, the woman stands next to my car, yelling and pointing at my car, then her saying, "You're looking for me." I vigorously shake my head no, pull away, and continue my search. After I found a cart guy in the parking lot, he told me they were back the way I came. Crap. So I drive back the way I came and I can see the same woman standing by the exit, glaring at my car. I avoid eye contact and finally find the pickup parking. I pull up and wait, eating a bit of my dinner while I do so. As I'm eating my mac and cheese, I hear someone angrily yell, "Are you not a Lyft driver?" from my passenger side. The same woman had walked 5 rows from the exit to track me down. She begins yelling and gesturing at my sticker and asking, "Why aren't you picking me up?" I felt at this point, ignoring her would be less than ideal, so I rolled down my passenger window just enough. I looked her in the eye and said calmly, "Ma'am, I'm not working right now." She throws her hands in the air, looks around wildly, and says, "Give me a ride." I told her I'm not her Lyft driver and suggested she contact her driver through the app. She yells, "Well, ducking great. Where's my Lyft driver then?" I just quickly rolled the window back up as she stormed away. I feel like this shouldn't have to be said, but please double check your app with the Lyft/Uber you're getting into. And don't stalk down strangers in their cars. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to the channel and post some bear emojis in the comments.